Hey, so what is up guys, it's Pohdoh here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about diminishing return. And some of you guys have requested a video on diminishing return, what it is, how does it affect PvP. So I'm going to try my best to make this brief, and I'm going to be going over all the important points and a lot of the really nitpicky details about diminishing return that not many people really know about. It's really important as an ice mage since your gameplay really depends on stun. So what is it called? It is called diminishing return. Let me just write this down really fast. And I'm sorry about the Bandicam logo there. I'm trying my best to write this as quickly as possible because it's a trial version and only have 10 minutes. So diminishing return. Game Love added this in the level 70 updates because Sins could do infinite stun locks in Arena, and that caused a lot of problems and people were pissed about it because what they end up doing is that the gear mastery was that every time you use Dagger Stab, you had a 100% chance to reset the cooldown of your Shadow Blink, meaning that you can Dagger Stab, Shadow Blink, then Dagger Stab, and Shadow Blink, and Dagger Stab, Shadow Blink again and again and again, and it would be impossible to escape this. It would just be flat out impossible. There's no way to escape it. And because of this, they added diminishing return to Arena, and in a nutshell, this is what it does. It goes by 15-second intervals right here. Pretend this is a timeline right here. So this is gonna be 0 seconds, 15 seconds, and then 30 seconds. So pretend you are a nice little ice mage right here, and you decided to stun someone with Frost Blast. And let me see, Frost Blast, FB Frost Blast lasts for 6 seconds normally. So what ends up happening with diminishing return is that your first stun will last a perfect 6 seconds, like it should. So the red will show the stun. It'll last 6 seconds. So imagine, and then what will end up happening is that you try stunning one more time, and this time it won't last 6 seconds. It'll last 3 seconds. It'll be shorter, and you can see that it gets shorter and shorter and shorter. And then you get desperate and you want to stun again. So now it's gonna be 1.5 seconds. And then what ends up happening after this, keep in mind, it's very important, after your third stun, this is 1, 2, 3. After your third stun, everything here is going to get resisted. All your stuns will get resisted after your third stun in the 15-second interval. And then how do you refresh this? Is that once the 15-second interval is done, everything here gets resisted. Resist is caused by two things. For mages, it is caused by spell hit, but it's also caused by diminishing return. So this is all the stuns right here, and after this, everything here is gonna get resisted. And then once the 15-second interval is over, then all your stuns will return back to full length. So you can just re-stun lock them right here. So this is very important. You don't need to wait 15 seconds after your last stun. You just need to wait until the 15-second interval is done. So this is very important for a lot of game mechanics later on, but I don't want to go too much in detail about this. So anyways, that's the basic problem with diminishing return, is that within the 15-second interval, your stuns are going to get shorter and shorter and shorter until they just get resisted. And this is just to prevent stun locks. And before, this was always around in Arena, except recently they added it to World PvP, meaning that ice mages cannot stun lock, tanks cannot stun lock anymore. So it adds a lot more balance and it adds a lot more skill, and I'm really happy about that. So anyways, don't save. So a few important things about diminishing return is that it goes by the person. So it goes by the person receiving it. It's not that your stuns will get resisted, it's that the other person will resist your stuns, and that's very important when you consider in multiple people. So for example, here is a nice little mage right here, and then here is where's the brush? Where's the brush? Okay, there we go. And here is a courageous warrior right here. He has a shield and he's all good to go. Right here, please refrain from comments, please, about my artistic skill. I know it is very good. And then right here is a nasty Sin right here, ready to stun lock and gank everyone. And this is the problem with diminishing return. Not a problem, but just a mechanic of it. Pretend these two are on the same team. So this is Team 1, and Team Loner. But anyways, if they both want to stun lock the rogue, this is how it works. The mage decides to Frost Blast, and it will last. Oops! It will last for. Oh my bad. It will last. God damn it! There we go. And if the mage tries to use Frost Blast, it will first last a full 6 seconds, because this is when the diminishing return timer activates. And then when the warrior decides to shield slap or charge him, what will end up happening is that his stuns will be shorter, because even though he didn't do any stuns himself, his teammate, the mage right here, use the stun on the person right here. So the timer does not depend on the person using the stun, it depends on the person receiving the stun. Meaning that if 600 people decide to stun one person, only the first 3 stuns the person receives will actually go full duration, and then no matter how many people tries to stun the receiver, all of them will get resisted. For example, if the mage decided to stun 3 times, 6 seconds, 3 seconds, and then 1.5 seconds, and then warrior tries to stun the rogue, all of his stuns will get resisted because diminishing return has already gone by. So it doesn't actually, so like I said, it's very important. It does not go by person, meaning that the mage can stun for this much and then the warrior can stun, right after the mage. No, that's not how it works. It works by the person receiving the stun. So that's very important if you, consider team battles and an arena. So this is why ice mages are very important, and you don't want to actually, and if you're let's say a melee, you don't want to waste your stuns. You don't want to use stuns yourself. You want your partner to use your stuns because you want to fully utilize diminishing return so that the longest stuns will be affected and the longest stuns will be in effect. You don't want to use really short stuns because that's just a waste of diminishing return. Because diminishing return goes by the number of stuns, not how long they are. So anyways, that's pretty much a basic premise of diminishing return, and there are some exceptions. You want to keep this in mind. Before, this was only in arena. This was not in world PvP, and this caused some problems because ice mages could, do infinite stun locks and win every single duel. But there are some exceptions. There's some things that are not affected by diminishing return. The most important of which is sleep. So with sleep, there's 3 things actually: sleep, silence, and fear. Sleep is obviously referring just to one thing, which is gonna be winter sleep. Winter sleep from ice mages, and this still makes him very, very potent in duels. Is because, well, this is very important right here. This is by far the most important spell in a mage's arsenal for PvP. The main reason why is that you can actually just stun, do your first 3 stuns, no problem, and then you can winter sleep. And because winter sleep for ice mages lasts for 12 seconds, you can actually reset diminishing return. You can stall out diminishing return until it resets. So this is why winter sleep is very important, is that it is not affected by diminishing return at all. It will always be 12 seconds. And same goes for silence. For example, and this is very important, also mage, the blaze prison. This is why I highly recommend every mage to use sleep and blaze, winter sleep and blaze prison, is because they aren't affected by the diminishing return, unlike your freezes. So you can potentially stun someone for a very, very long time with a proper rotation of these 2. So blaze prison will always last the same amount of time, and so is cutthroat, the cutthroat silence. So Sins, don't be afraid about using spamming cutthroat, because it will not affect how long your shadow blink stuns are. So keep that in mind. Silence effects, they're not affected by diminishing return for what I'm seeing. And finally, not so important is the fear, and there's only 2 examples: is avulsion shot, avulsion, and decap. And the decap is more important than avulsion, because avulsion, it has a 15-second cooldown, so it will never be affected by diminishing return anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But the decap is kind of important because there are ways to reduce the cooldown of your decapitate spell. So, and this is what leads to some, DPS warriors stun locking. And you guys may think I'm crazy saying that DPS warriors can stun lock, but I know some really good DPS warriors that do. And I can't really say because they want to keep it kind of private, but there are ways to reduce the cooldown of decapitate. And the important thing about decapitate is that its fear effect cannot be resisted at all. So you can potentially stun lock someone for a very, very long time just because there's no diminishing return whatsoever. So that's the basics of how diminishing return actually works. So I'm just gonna briefly commentate over a duel, and I'll tell you my logic and how I put diminishing return into my gameplays and into my PvP. So I'll be right back, guys. So anyways, this duel is gonna be against Hades, and he is extraordinary melee, well, HP wise. He has 20k HP, and it normally would not be possible to kill anyone with that much HP, considering the fact I don't have any buffs and I only have level 3 gems. But that being said, there are ways to kill a melee, and just because of the fact that diminishing return is on my side because of sleep. So as you can see, first stun is going to last a full 6 seconds, and I want to sleep him immediately. And the main reason why is really simple, because I want to reset diminishing return. I'm gonna stall for 15 seconds, and now I know 15 seconds have passed now, so I'm just gonna go back and it's gonna stun for a full amount of time, another 6 seconds. It can be no problem right here, and you can see I used Frozen Mine. I did not use Cyclone, and the reason why is because Cyclone is it's just gonna activate more diminishing return, and if I use Cyclone, then my Frost Blast wouldn't have lasted as long. My second Frost Blast, that is. So now, as you can see, diminishing return has not returned, but you know, diminishing return has not returned. Diminishing return is not gonna last a full duration after this now, but it doesn't really matter because I pretty much shaved off so much of his HP. Really, it doesn't matter at this point. So anyways, I'm just stalling. Diminishing return is still active, so this Frost Blast stun isn't gonna last very long, but it doesn't really matter because you know, I already done a crap ton of damage to him, and I'm just gonna put him back to sleep. And the reason why I want to put him back to sleep is to reset diminishing return. So ultimately, this is how I think when I use duels. It's all about diminishing return, because you really want to keep your opponent stunned as a Frost Mage, or as any class in general. So that's the end of the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry to Hades for accidentally killing him afterwards, but like I said, hopefully this video was helpful for all you guys. Yeah, helpful for all you guys. It just was under high request, so like I said, this is Pohdoh here. Rate, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and then I'll see you guys later.